I feel like putting Star Wars on television made it less epic, less relevant,
valuable.
Like, yeah. You know, like
Yeah.
Star Wars was just in theaters. It was movies, and that was it. And then throwing it on I mean, you could do the Clone Wars. I guess that's fine. But live action TV, I think that really hurt the brand. You know,
I mean, that's
because
what they
you
did
had to
with
wait for these
MCU.
Star Wars movies to come out. You had to wait 3 years in between, and then you had to wait another couple of, like 16 years. So I don't know, man. I think putting it on TV is a bad move. I would just keep it strictly.
I mean, for animated shows, it makes
and
sense.
animated, that's fine. I think animated
shows,
live
but for
action,
live action, I mean, Star Wars was born on the big screen. It should, at its peak, be there. That's where it should live and thrive, and that should inspire other multimedia stories from the success of those films. So I don't know. Do y'all think that the Mando and Grogu has actually hurt Starfighter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe 2 horror films beat Star Wars. How is this even possible? Like, little horror. Somehow little horror beats giant Star Wars. It's like unfathomable.
I'll tell you why, because nothing happened in Mando and Grogu. Nothing happened. There was no conclusion to a story. Grogu was not returned to his race of people. There's even threads from Mando's past. Remember, even in season 1, we saw Mando as a child, right? Separated from his parents. Nothing happened with the characters. No growth whatsoever. For something to be a movie, something has to occur, some journey where the characters are changed. They are no different. It was cutesy bootsy. It was a season 4 of The Mandalorian and Grogu.
And following up a season that everyone hated.
And following up a bunch of Disney Star Wars stuff that everybody hated. No one liked Obi-Wan or The Acolyte or Book of Boba Fett or Skeleton Crew. Like, we've just been getting so much Disney slop in the Star Wars franchise. It's like, who was going to come and see this movie, really? Hardcore Disney Star Wars stans that just love everything that Disney shits out. And that was pretty much
and boomers.
Skeleton Crew was good, but no one watched it.
Skeleton Crew was fine, but nobody watched it because people are tired of this. They're just tired of what Disney is putting out. So they've already destroyed the brand to the point where even if something is halfway decent, nobody's going to show up for it. And then it's Grogu.
And the Simon Kinberg thing, because I just looked, the community note is that not that it's not happening, but that they're saying it's a new trilogy. So it's still, for all intent and purposes, the fucking next 3 episodes.
So it's not
the context where you
I didn't even see a
episode
community
10.
note. So
it was on one of them, but so it's still Simon Kinberg, and it's still, he says characters could show up, and it still falls in line with what we heard that fucking Rey will have a 15-year time jump.
But do you think that's really set in stone yet? It honestly doesn't seem like they have any plan of what
Simon
to do
has
past
been announced.
the Starfighter.
Simon has been announced to do these 3 movies for quite some time.
I know.
The longest
it's
of
a
all
Tuesday. We'll get a new announcement.
Right.
Sure. We have like how many films have been announced and have not come to fruition, and I don't have any hope in Filoni to spearhead any sort of cohesive, creative, visionary adventure on film.
What do you think they did? Well, the meeting, all right, with Josh D'Amaro and Dana Walden and Alan Bergman meeting with Lucasfilm. I want to say it was at the end of April. What do you guys think happened during that meeting? Do you think anything of? I mean, we know that Ahsoka got kicked back, it got bumped back, but outside of that, what else you guys think happened at that meeting? Did they give them
was the meeting?
new marching orders?
Just now.
Is
it
like
when Han and Leia?
I think the question that was asked, how much more money do you need to destroy Star Wars
Right.
What's so shocking to me is at 20th Century Studios, the original studio of Star Wars, Steve Asbell, the president there, has been quietly, whether you like them or not, he's had success putting out Planet of the Apes, Predator, Alien, Devil Wears Prada 2 was 20th Century Studios. The Hellraiser that was on Hulu was 20th Century Studios. And they've been making these movies for a price, for $100 million, I mean, so to speak. And yet Disney can't get their Star Wars act together.
Yeah.
I mean, he's revitalized. He made Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes for $30 million less than War of the Planet of the Apes was made. And same with Alien. He made Alien Romulus for $100 million. Predator Badlands, for everything you thought about it, it made a ton of money in the secondary markets, the ancillary markets after theatrical. It did okay theatrical, but it's still making money. And why is it that they can't make a Star Wars movie that's viable? I mean, the lack of success of Mandalorian and Grogu is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's shocking that how would they not stop and think, okay, let's make a Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and let's make it mythic. Let's make it like A Man with No Name, like A Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or do a story. How do they not know to not make it like a TV show?
It's because I don't think it was ever intended to be a movie at first.
No, I know, but I just am shocked about it. Just when I sat and watched it, I thought to myself, you've got characters that already the audience loves. And all you have to do is put them through the paces that an audience hasn't seen yet. People love, you have the universe that people love, you have these characters, and yet you failed to do basic screenwriting 101 with them.
They've been doing that for 10. I don't know why you're so surprised. They've been doing that for 10 years. Kenobi should have written, I think, and it did actually. A lot of people cite Kenobi as when they bounced out. You would think it would have been something else, but Kenobi seems to be the one that, like, man, when you fuck that up, when all you had to do was show flashbacks of the Clone Wars and then have Kenobi be a desert samurai or whatever.
This is a weird thing to point out. It's a weird observation. I got to point it out. I knew Disney didn't get Star Wars when they excised violence. Violence is part of Star Wars. In the OT and the prequels, someone always loses a limb. There was a limb loss in A New Hope, in Empire. These things happen, right?
They made it safe in order to be sold, to kids, to make it digestible for kids and families, and to sell toys. And I think that I'm actually I was surprised at how far under my estimated worldwide box office prediction it came under. I was actually shocked. I thought that maybe the Star Wars brand still had just a touch of life in it, to where maybe Baby Yoda could actually carry this movie, but the novelty of Baby Yoda has worn off. And I think that the nail in the coffin for if you were still hanging on to Star Wars was the Acolyte. Like that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for a lot of Star Wars fans, and they were just kind of like, I'm melting out at this point. But what they failed to do was make movies and television shows for actual Star Wars fans, without trying to think that they could do better than the creator of Star Wars, without trying to change things, make things safer, change the lore, think that they could do something better, and think that they actually had the creativity to create something better, and it was lacking. And instead of giving shows to actual Star Wars fans, they pandered to this new audience. They tried to change the brand. So it's no surprise that this movie is just not doing well. Now, I watched The Mandalorian, season 1, and I actually went into it with relatively high expectations, and it delivered. I was actually excited to watch something that truly felt original. But then the next 2 seasons season 2 was really bad. Didn't even watch the one after that one. And then you had the Book of Boba Fett, which was horrendous. So they're not making all of these shows for Star Wars fans. They're making them for themselves. They're making
just for clarification.
Go ahead,
just real quick, because before we move on, when she said that they dumbed down the violence so they could sell toys to kids, I used to have an Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones that had a detachable arm, so you could mimic his dismemberment. They had it dialed in.
Let me ask you a question.
But this is Disney now, though. Disney, it's under the Disney
girl brands
umbrella.
don't have violence, right?
So it is Disney-fied now.
Let me ask a question. How differently would you feel about Rey as a character if at the end of Force Awakens, Kylo Ren chopped off her arms and legs?
Ooh, she'd be so much more.
She lost all of her limbs, got robot limbs, had to fight back to get her comeuppance in a third film. And it's about, and episode 2 is about her journey. And
when the series came out, Chris, I thought that's what was going to happen. I literally thought that was what's going to happen.
If they did, but they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, had Luke been her Jedi Master, it would have been fine.
Would they not do that to a female character, put her through the similar struggles as Luke? She sidelined Finn. That whole good to see you, friend.
Friend zone, bro.
Him at the end.
You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
As much as they push interracial relationships and everything Disney and commercials these days, they had a chance in Star Wars and they did not do it. I'm saying I hated The Force Awakens. I remember seeing it at the ArcLight. Rob,
I hated it as much.
You were there.
We were there.
A lot of people we know were there. I remember seeing it and going, I freaking hate this. Why are people like it? I was confused. Like, why don't I like it? Everyone else seems to, and whatever. Anyways, I'm saying, would you feel differently about Rey if she actually had those struggles and wasn't a Mary Sue, that she lost a couple of limbs?
The recovery angle could have been interesting.
Lose an arm, right?
If she saw any adversity.
Right.
Yeah.
Adversity blooms humanity, right? I mean, there wasn't much to grasp from her as a human. We root for humans, people with, human problems, with weaknesses and such, and she had none of those. And the constant friend zoning, come on. I mean, you were the viewer is the young male, it's the older male. We all know how awful that is. And poor Finn got bro zoned and friend zoned left and right, top to bottom, all three movies.
You underestimate how important romance is.
Yep.
Romance in movies. Romance is a big part of Star Wars, the OT. It's in the prequels, maybe not handled as well. But remember, the first adventure we ever all saw in Star Wars was because Luke fell in love with a girl he saw in a hologram. Now, I'm sorry it worked out that that's his sister, whatever. But he was so entranced by her beauty, that was a motivator for him to be a hero.
Yeah, this all still would not have mattered, though.
Turns out she doesn't really need saving anyways. She's but whatever.
I would have accepted an awkward sexual encounter.
Well, they should have just, it was the motivation. The entire motivation behind the new trilogy was rotten to the core. They had ill intentions from the very beginning. They just wanted to use the legacy characters to lure people in and then systematically bastardize them, character assassinate them. And here's the new characters. We're doing new stories now, and essentially just repeat the same story beats from the previous films, but with new characters. And they didn't even bother to flesh those out well and to create actual good, likable characters with a meaningful story arc. So they just wanted to throw this meaningless garbage out and without any thought or care. And this is what you reap. And unfortunately, it's taken so many years under their tenure, but it's now they have now killed what was one of the most famous and commercially successful and beloved franchises ever, and they've killed it. It's really sad. Everyone wanted it to succeed. We wanted to see the continuation of this beloved universe, and now it's ashes. It's sad.
It's insane how much bad Star Wars we've gotten. Like you said, you just named all of those series. It's unbelievable. There's this much bad Star Wars. And they only got it right, 10% of the time? I mean, how the hell would anybody want to come back to the well if it's as dried up as it is now?